Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Yovantah Pravishya Mama Vachamimam Prasuptam Sanjeevayat Khila Shakti Dharasvadhamna Amnyamshahastacharana-shravanatvagadin Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Samacharana Sarojam Sandra Neelambudabham Jaghana Nihitapani Mandanam Mandananam Taruna Tulasi Malam Kandharam Kanjanetram Sadayadhavalahasam Vitthalam Chintayami Vitthalam Chintayami. Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's Eknathi Bhagawat session. We have just begun chapter 14 yesterday. We have seen 85 Ovis. Tonight we start from 86. Over to you, Sri Hariji.
86. In order to be united with me, one should not touch worldly objects with one's mind at all. Like a woman having her monthly period who does not touch her husband. 87. If he is in continuous rapport with me, his mind will not turn towards even the other worlds, and the world of Brahma also is discarded by it. The question of lower worlds not arising at all. 88. When he worships me like this, there arises in his heart gradually love for me, and I then become manifest as Atman in him. 89. It is wrong even to say that I become manifest, because I am always living in his heart. I am seen by him when all the doubts are removed from his mind. That is why I said that I become manifest. 90. So just as the sun, who is covered up by clouds, is seen when clouds are gone, so when the condition of the mind being occupied with object ceases to be, I become evident to him. 91. When by the faithful worship and devotion by the devotees, I become manifest to them, they never think of mundane things. 92. When mundane objects are no more in the mind of devotees, they get united with me by their self-knowledge. 93. Just as iron touched by magic stone becomes gold, my devotees become knowledge itself when they are absorbed in me by constant meditation on me. 94. Then there is nothing that can be equal to the happiness which the devotees enjoy in that state. 95. How can Brahma, the creator, know the height of that bliss to experience which even the Lord Shankara choose to go and stay in a symmetry? Stay in a symmetry. 96. When my devotees get the experience of unity with me, they forget the pains and sorrow of the physical life. They do not feel hungry or thirsty. That is because they are really blissful in the state of Atman. 97. How can persons who are mad after carnal enjoyments ever imagine the divinity of that Atman? Even by spending millions of rupees, one may not get an iota of that spiritual bliss. 98. People who are drowned in mundane enjoyments cannot receive even a speck of the bliss by spending money, grains, exchanging sons or dear relatives for it. 99. Even the residents of Satyaloka, the highest seventh heaven, do not get that bliss. Why talk about others? Even the God Brahma cannot experience it. 100. When there is Atmic bliss, even all the organs of the body become very happy, even 1 billionth of which bliss cannot be obtained in any heaven worlds. 101. Please remember that I give my love to my devotees who are free from selfish desires, greed, hypocrisy, jealousy, and pride. 102. My devotees rule over that unparalleled happiness which is not limited by space and time, and that is the happiness in the state of Atman.
Akincanasya dantasya shantasya samacetasaha maya santushta manasaha sarva sukhamaya dishaha.
Meaning of the verse: He who has no worldly possessions, who is self enthralled and peaceful with his mind in a balanced state, and whose mind is blissful in meditation on me, finds all the quarters of the earth full of happiness. He is happy anywhere in the world. 103. Now see what is freedom from possessions. He has no hut, no ashrama, no leafy residence of a monk, and has no bundle of cloth tied tight with the valuables in it. Such a man meets my blessings and happiness early. 104. He who is very well self controlled, having all his organs of sense and organs of action, including the mind, well disciplined, he is verily able to decorate the throne of self bliss. 105. While looking at the varieties in physical bodies of all creatures, he sees unity in all of them at the level of Atman, and therefore his mind is in peaceful balance, which is the state of Atman. 106. Just as the skin thrown away by serpent does not raise its hood though kicked by anybody, so the man is not disturbed though his wife, children, or another being harasses him. 107. Self bliss is the resting at the feet of such a man that desire and anger in his mind are completely destroyed, and real peace is established there. 108. It so happens that the self bliss persistently follows him for being enjoyed and becomes adhered to his consciousness in spite of his trying to disentangle himself from it. 109. The direction in which he looks becomes filled with blessing, and wherever he stands, the great happiness reigns there. 110. There is opened the very mine of self bliss, where he puts his foot forward, and if he looks at any person casually, that person is also tremendously overflowing with joy. 111. For the man whom such a person meets, the day becomes auspicious, and supposing such a man touches any place with his foot gently, there comes to stay with the Atmic joy. 112. Really, my blessings are having their well built house in his breathing and even his batting of an eye. 113. Such a man is a canopy of all happiness or the root of self bliss. He is wholly impregnated with a total bliss and with the conviction that everything is equal in the world, his happiness in and out. 114. Eknath says, the Lord Sri Krishna is telling in that next verse the great state of highest happiness of the devotee.
न पारमेष्ठ्यं न महेन्द्रधिष्ण्यं न सार्वभौमं न रसाधिपत्यं न योगसिद्धिरपुनर्भवं वा मय्यर्पितात्मेच्छति मद्विनान्यत्. This to mark as an important verse.
Meaning of the verse: He who has established me in his mind does not desire the possession of Brahma, nor the realm of the great Indra, nor for sovereign power over the entire globe, nor rulership of neither worlds, nor mystic powers of yoga, nor does he seek complete freedom from birth and death. Nor does he seek complete freedom from birth and death, which is devoid of me. 115. My devotees, whose heart is united with me, are always happy by the joy which they share with me. They have no attachment or attraction to any type of aspirations. 116. O Uddhava, if there is greed about worldly possessions or about heavenly pleasures, though the man is outwardly devoted to me, that is no devotion. That is simply attraction towards selfish pleasures. 117. Even if the kingdom of the whole world is offered, my devotees despise it. 118. The swine finds the grams fallen in the excreta quite palatable, but men are sick of them. Similarly, my devotees give up the whole kingdom over the world. 119. There are unspoiled pleasures, including the nature's miraculous nectars in the nectars in the nether worlds, but my devotees kick them off. 120. Just as a wise man will not accept dirty food when he is enjoying morsels of nectar like tasty delicacies, the devotees do not turn to mundane objects, even mundane objects, when they are enjoying my love. 121. Even if the coveted capital city of heaven, the great Amravati of Lord Indra, where gods, goddesses, great sages, and Nagas are always in humble attendance to Indra, is offered to my devotees. They reject it, as wise person will throw away ordinary earth when they are enjoying the sweet smell of the musk. 122. My devotees disregard even the highest heaven world of Brahma when they are happy in my devotion. 123. Milk and buttermilk both appear white, but milk is preferred by the wise persons and the pot of buttermilk is put away. 124. Similarly, only stupid persons will like the Satyaloka equally as the joy of my devotion, but those devotees who are pure in their heart will always disregard the Satyaloka, the seventh heaven, where Brahma rules. 125. Or even if occult powers come and offer at a time all the coveted joys or nectar like joy in the nether worlds, the Amaravati, the Satyaloka, etc. 126. Or even if the occult power to possess which yogis strive hard would come and stand in attention to serve, my devotees, my wise devotees do not touch them. 127. Oh Uddhava, actually my devotees have already crushed below their feet these occult powers, and then only they have turned towards me. 128. What of these occult powers? My devotees have rejected all the stage of liberations like Samipata, Salokata, and Sarupata. What of these occult powers? My devotees have rejected all stages of liberations like Samipata, Salokata, and Sarupata. 129. Even Sayujyata state of liberations, which is beyond the power of time and beyond the cycle of birth and death, is not touched by my devotees. 130. To be a separate entity first and then become united in the state of Sayujyata is a wrong notion and illogical statement. So, my devotees try not for that state. 131. They are very happy in their devotion for me and they like my worship only. Though all Though all the four types of liberations come to serve them, they do not accept them but remain enjoying my worship only. 132. Just see, my devotees do not like anything else except me. They become larger than the three worlds through my worship only. 133. As they are completely overflowing with the joy of my worship, they never accept anything else, including all types of liberations. 134. They throw away all types of pleasures and joys except that in my devotion because my worship gives them divine joy. 135. It may be perhaps argued that though my devotees may be crazy about me, I may not be having any similar feelings about them. 136. For example, a louse may have liking about the she buffalo, but she does not like that louse. So your devotees may love you, but you may not be loving them. People might argue like this with me. 137. They may say, you may not have any affinity about devotion because the three aspects, the devotee, devotion, and the object of devotion, are concepts within the field of Maya and therefore unreal. 138. Nobody goes for a meal to anybody's house only because the person in seen by this man to be inviting him for dinner is in his dream. Similarly, it may not be possible for you to love the devotees because the act of devotion is an unreal concept, a Maya. 139. Eknath says, the Lord has considered this possible question and thinking about that possibility, he is telling, if the mind of devotee is pure and his intellect rational and sincere, I always love him earnestly with equal tenderness. 140. I reciprocate the actions and sentiments of each and everybody. As the devotee is one-pointed and sincere, I am also wholly responsive to him with all my kindness.
न तथा मे प्रियतमः आत्मयोनिर्न शङ्करः न च सङ्कर्षणो धीनैः एवात्मा च यथा भवान्.
Meaning of the verse.
Sorry. न च सङ्कर्षणो न धीः नैवात्मा च तथा यथा भवान्. Sorry, I had missed, done a wrong break. So, न च सङ्कर्षणो न धीः नैवात्मा च यथा भवान्.
Meaning of the verse. None else than you is my beloved, including Brahma, the Lord who is my own progeny, Shankara or Sankarshana, etc., are not even my soul, the Atman. None else than you is my beloved, including Brahma, the Lord who is my own progeny, Shankara or Sankarshana, etc., and not even my soul, the Atman. 141. Only I know the love of my devotees, for Maya and everything in the three worlds is not equal to that love. 142. As soon as the devotee becomes united with me by his one-pointed love, it destroys his ignorance. O Uddhava, how can I sufficiently describe the love which I have for such devotees? 143. Brahma is my own offspring, and I give my full attention to fulfill all his desires. But he has no such ardent love for me as the bubbling energy of love which my devotees have for me. 144. I have told Brahma to look after the work of creation of the worlds, that is karma, and I have inspired my devotees to be free of karma. It was therefore that instead of going to Brahma, I lived with the cowherds in Gokul and enjoyed their simple meals of rice and curds. 145. I become cows and calves to humiliate Brahma, who had stolen the cattle from Gokul to test my power. In short, there is not that much love in my heart for him as I have for Gopalas. 146. Balaram is my elder brother, but I have not so much love for him as I have for my devotees. 147. Balaram took the side of Kauravas, and disregarding his relation of brother with me, I went to Pandavas to protect them as they are my devotees. 148. When Bhishma took a vow, I protected my devotee Arjuna by wielding a weapon, thus breaking my own vow. 149. Lakshmi is my spouse, but I have I have given her the duty of nursing my feet, and I took all the care of gopis who loved me. I even lifted gopis on my shoulder. 150. I honor those devotees who dislike the goddess of riches, Lakshmi, and those who beg for prosperity from me fall in such a condition that they neither get Lakshmi or me, her husband. 151. I love the devotees who disrespect and abhor money, which is the form of Lakshmi. I do love the Lord Shankara, but above all, I love those my devotees who are not after riches. 152. By meditation on the Lord Shankara, I had to have dark complexion from his body, and I gave my fair complexion is him. And by his wish, I took the form of Mohini for the second time. 153. And I made the Lord Shankara mad for that same Mohini, but I saved Rukmangada from the attraction of Mohini. 154. Thus, please understand that the Lord Shankara is not dearer to me than my devotees. In all the three worlds, there is nobody whom I love more than my devotees. 155. In the Vedas and scriptures, my image with four arms is very honorably described, but myself bear with respect the stigma of the foot of Bhrugu on my chest. 156. I am not so much caring for my body. Therefore, I have become a cowherd and I am tending the cows in the jungles and ravines. I have even taken care of the horses of my devotee. 157. I have no desire to be fulfilled, but for the sake of my devotees, I live as a man of desires. When I see the extremely loyal devotees who worship me with all their heart, I jump towards them. 158. As soon as I see a loving devotee, I bring him on par with me, and if that is not possible, I afford him the highest happiness in all the three worlds. And if the devotee is not near me, I go and become his servant. 159. Not minding whether I am respected or not, I even wash the dishes or clean the kitchen of my devotees, and if there is real calamity about to fall on the devotees, I risk even death. 160. O Uddhava, for a devotee like you, I neglect my own body. I like such devotees throughout day and night. I am extremely fond of such devotees. 161. Actually, I like the devotees because they worship me wholeheartedly and they have become worthy of service from me. Eknath says, now the signs of such devotees are being described by Lord Sri Krishna in the following verses.
निरपेक्षं मुनिं शान्तं निर्वैरं समदर्शनम् अनुव्रजाम्यहं नित्यं पूजयेत्यङ्घ्रिरेणुभिः.
Meaning of the verses: I follow the footsteps of the devotee who is not expecting anything, contemplates on me, is having peaceful mind, having no animosity, and sees unity everywhere, with a hope that the dust from his feet may fall on me and purify me. I follow the footsteps of the devotee who is not expecting anything, contemplates on me, is having peaceful mind, having no animosity, and sees unity everywhere, with a hope that the dust from his feet may fall on me and purify me. 162. The Lord Sri Krishna said to Uddhava, when a devotee worships me wholeheartedly, his mind is completely occupied by me and his consciousness becomes empty. His desires have been destroyed. 163. If a sum of money is offered without being asked for from anybody, and if the man stretches his hand to take that money in that action, the virtue of having no expectation or hope is spoiled. 164. As soon as a person bends down to pick up money, you should consider that the man has been pulled down by greed. Therefore, the man who neglects even such money and goes away from there is worthy of my salutation. 165. Supposing some amount is lying on the road and nobody claims it to be his money, and a man picks up that amount, even that becomes a breach of his virtue of having no expectation. 166. So, the state of mind where there is no desire at all is called free from expectation. I am going to tell you the quality of the mind which thinks and meditates in the desireless peaceful state. 167. My image, which is described in Vedas and scriptures as the standard image, is really my purest form. And when the mind is paying full attention with a sense of unity to that image, that is the state of meditation. 168. While thinking continuously about that pure form of mind, the mind becomes congruent and united with it without any particular effort for it. That is, thinking without purpose and effort, and remembering without trying to remember. 169. You should consider this as the true state of meditation. I will now tell you about the inner peace. Please listen. 170. Sometimes the mind becomes peaceful for some time, but there are dormant urges of desire, anger, and greed. So that peace is not real peace. 171. A crane is very still, standing on one leg in shallow water, which appears to be very peaceful, but he is watching for fish. That is not real peace because hunger, greed is prominent in his mind. 172. There should not be special awareness of body. There should not be desire, anger, and greed at all. Such a peace is possible only for a fortunate person. This is called the main state of peace and silence. 173. O Uddhava, please note that I consider this peace as the true peace of mind. Now I'll tell you what is equilibrium. 174. All the beings are quite different from each other, and their names are also various. Actually, this whole world is full of strange and irregular shapes. But in all the beings, the absolute Brahman is one and the same. The devotee has the vision of unity. 175. Without disturbing or destroying anything, my devotees see the unity of all the beings and behave with equanimity towards all, only on the strength of their faithful devotion to me. 176. When this sense of equality arises by my grace in the mind of the devotee, the concept of separateness disappears, and being without any sense of higher or lower regarding others, he becomes free from animosity. 177. There is a reason to be against anybody so long as the man thinks of duality. And when he feels that he alone is dwelling in everybody throughout the world, who would be the enemy and of whom? 178. Will the sky quarrel with itself? Will the moon fight with herself? Will the wind suffocate the wind itself? Will the tongue cut itself into two? 179. Disappearance of the sense of separateness is the main sign of absence of enmity in his mind. O Uddhava, this is the reality about the freedom from enmity. Please remember. 180. The main qualities are no expectation, meditation on my real image, peace, the sense of equality everywhere, and freedom from enmity. Thus, these are five virtues. There is
Hariom.
no... Yeah.
I think we can stop. Bhagawat. Beautiful reading, so profound. Over to you, Sri Hariji, to share your thoughts.
So, first, I'm sorry, I clicked something and it.
Doesn't matter. Take the time. Let's try it.
We have crossed, is it? It's 86.
Chapter 14.
It's PDF. Sorry, Varshaji, I think I lost.
Doesn't matter. Chapter 14, you can see where that index is. Is anybody following PDF? You can tell him PDF page number. You are on mute,
Nine.
Sajid.
769.
769, is it?
Nine.
Okay, just
Sloka 86. Yeah.
86. Okay, thank you. So initially, and actually it is more of a revision for me. I forgot. So initially, again, Bhagavan talks about how to be united, how a devotee is united with him, and he does not touch any kind of worldly objects, and is free from any kind of worldly objects. So, like he gives examples of even when sun is covered by clouds. So what will happen? Like even Brahma cannot experience that kind of higher place, and even Shankara cannot get that. So uh, he talks about what kind of experience the devotees get, and they are free from pain or sorrow or hunger or thirst. They are completely in a blissful state of Atman always. So, so they don't even regard the heavenly Satyaloka. They don't even think of beyond birth and death, the state of beyond being birth and death. Or so here, the summary that I think is Bhagavan is so close to the devotees, and he talks about what is the real peace. Uh, and then actually the five virtues he spoke about. I think that one was very catchy for me. What was the verse number where he talked?
Today, I'll just take the Gita book because in that when in the verse 14, na parameshtham na mahendradhishnyam. See, the verse meaning starts with he who has established in me, his mind does not desire only anything, any position or any, nothing else he desires. So today in the Gita session, we were doing chapter 6. And in chapter 6, we were at this verse 4. And verse 4 is Yada hinendriyartheshu na karmasvanu sajjate. Huh? Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi Yoga Rudhastadochyate. So that verse meant that the person who is not attached to any of the sense objects or any of the actions, and he has Sarva Sankalpa also sannyasi. He has renounced all his thoughts also. Then that person is the yoga rudha, like that. Okay. So when Gurudev is trying to explain that, I'll read exactly what Gurudev says over there. If the mind is kept engaged in contemplation of greater truth, providing itself there in the inner bosom, a larger quota of ample joy. It will no more go hunting for bits of joys in the gutters of sensuality. If you have already experienced the inner joy, then won't go outside. Then he concludes with one powerful sentence in the end. He says, please listen very carefully, a well-fed pet dog, a well-fed pet dog will not scrounge the public dustbins for his feet. One, if the dog is well-fed, he will not go out in the public dustbin, it is saying. Our minds, we are going outside and picking on so many what mall shopping, social this in the world. Because we are not, our mind is not well fed with Lord. Our mind is well fed with the world. So Gurudev gives the example of a dog. If it's a pet dog is well fed, he will not scrounge in the public dustbins. This is one statement. Before that statement, if the mind is kept engaged in the contemplation of greater truth, a larger quota of ample joy, they will no more go hunting for bits of joys in the gutters of sensuality. So that sense, what in this particular verse, he was established in me, will not desire anything else. What means everything else is becoming mundane in front of Lord's one who has experienced the sweetness or the bliss of the Lord. So that's why when the verses, the whole thing that follows over there, when he reaches at 128 and 129, even the regular, which we say the liberations, the moksha paddhati, so, samipata is being near to the God, salokata is being in the same loka as God, that is getting Vaikuntha loka. Sarpata is like becoming like God, wearing Chaturbhuja and wearing the pitambar and all, and that crown and all. Sayujjata is melting into him. He says his devotee is not wanting even this. Means that is the extent of nishkamata. Mind is completely empty and available only for the Lord. And Lord prefers this devotees who don't want all this. So Lord is so all that description is Lord is keeping on saying my devotees, my devotees, my. So he is like that proud parent who who is proud of the parent who are proud of their kids when they achieve something big. They want to talk about it. They post here and there. And they are so satisfied. Sometimes they don't post here and there. They're so satisfied and they go quiet also in there. So we hear like that the Lord is saying that my devotee doesn't like this, my devotee won't be this, so that whole paragraph was so very beautiful because nothing else is wanted once you have tasted that bliss. Then what is moksha? Good, very good. Anybody else has anything else to add? Even that 162, no? See? He's saying when a devotee worships me wholeheartedly, his mind is completely occupied by me and his consciousness becomes empty, his desires having been destroyed. There is no other desire. Not even of moksha the desire is there, any kind of moksha. The whole reading is that about that devotee who doesn't think of anything else but Lord, and Lord is proudly exhibiting that. Amazing only. Anybody else has any other thought? Now we have started the reading on equilibrium. So only 4-5 Ovis we have seen, but when we read that, we will.
Yeah, verse 180, he says, the main qualities are no expectation, meditation on my real image, peace, the sense of equality everywhere, and freedom from enmity. These are the 5 virtues.
Mm. So that is leading to equilibrium.
Correct.
This is very nice. Those 5 are really, really great virtues to have.
Yeah. So tomorrow we don't have a session. We will meet on Monday and we will take this topic ahead. What is equilibrium? That is the topic going on at the moment. Anybody else wants to say anything? Let's go ahead with the closing prayers. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Hari Om everyone. Thank you for joining.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you.